Only one love. Margaret, that really is spectacular. So I want to look at her lyrics. I mean, she is such her lyrics are so spectacular. Having worked with her on her musical, her lyrics are inspired. They're intricate. They're always expanding my mind. So she said, I've seen I've seen the best laid to rest. You're talking about people that have died? Okay, good. I've seen the best laid to rest, never knowing true contentment, and come to find that peace of mind is nestled there in your intent. So what I get from that is what she's saying is there is something in you and something in me that innately the intention is to, as Thomas Troward says, to be peaceful, to enjoy life, to create, to live an expanded, amazing life. And she's right. Not everybody goes to their grave having done that. Why? And can we change that? So she says, but to wait, perhaps till your darkest hour, and you pray, forgetting that you have the power. Thank you for that, because I think way too often we spend our time still, even when we know that prayer, affirmative prayer, is coming from the knowingness of being one with all and being all. I think we're still waiting for someone else to save us. We're still praying to someone out there to help us. We're still hoping that some power somewhere, the Heather power, will come down and solve it, fix it some way. So, and then she says, and you pray forgetting that you, higher even, have the power, and it's here. Let's give it and receive. It's done as you believe, as large as you can see, and here's the whole point. Only one love. You know, there's not many different types and, different camps of love. There really truly is only one love. Time and again, we make pretend that we are different from each other. You know, that goes to what Eric and I were talking about. I think one of the big problems we're having right now is that everybody thinks they're different. They think their ideas are different, and maybe our ideas are different. But when you back up the ideas to what's thinking, you get this one thing, one love. The personal factor, as Thomas Troward talks about, is your ability to take what's coming through and think it in another way, to change. But most often we are caught in this thing called secondary causation. I didn't mean to be giving a lecture here today about class, but most often we are caught in secondary causation. And for those of you that got this wrong on the test, here's the answer. Secondary causation means that you are creating your life based on what's going on out there. You're taking all of this information and you are believing this crap and thereby starting to create from all of this. Talk about taking your power away. The minute you give your power over, and I don't care if you think it's the major pundits or the media, or if it's the conspiracy theorists, whoever you're giving your power to, you have taken your power away from yourself. So it's very important to really understand, I don't live my life based on the secondary causes out here and create from them. You got to just move that all to the side, as Margaret's song so beautifully shows us. There's one love, one thing going on, and there is a truth at the center of all of this. You want to get to it? You're not going to get to it out there. You're going to get to it in here, and then you'll be able to see what you see from the truth, not looking for the truth. And she says here, it's now our time to watch and learn the lessons from the mother. The earth has valleys and peaks for sure, but she knows that we're all the same at the core. One love. And then I love these lyrics. It can't be torn apart. It's been there from the start, this universal love, this universal heart. I know it's hard, isn't it? This universal heart, only one love. So we're talking about oneness this month, and I want to read you a Ram Dass quote. He says this, if I go into that place in myself that is love, and you go into that place in yourself that is love, we are together in love. Then you and I are truly in love, the state of being. That's the entrance to oneness. Now, if oneness is the interconnectivity of everything, why do we feel like we're outside of it so often? Why does it feel like suddenly we're being told to stay home and be alone and isolate? Why does that suddenly make me feel, it doesn't, by the way, for me, but why does it make, could it make one feel that they are alone? They're not no longer connected. Because we're not understanding the concept of Margaret's song, Only One Love, that no matter where I am, whether I am alone or in a crowd, I am that love, and so are you. So I love this. If I go into my place that's love and you go into your place that's love, we're together in love. Then you and I are truly in love, the state of being. So I want to talk about being in love. Do you remember being in love? Remember, Tiffany, when you were first falling in love with someone? There's that. It's been a while, thanks. Austin's watching. So when you first fell in love, right? When you and Eric first fell in love, and the two of you first fell in love, when Kevin and I first fell in love, and we talk about that pink cloud period. You know how you hear that? The pink cloud period, when all you think of is love. It's all you see. I don't see anything about you, but oh my God, you are the most amazing person on the planet, and I want to spend my entire life with you. And it's just this most amazing feeling. You're flying. You know what that's like, right? You're still in it. You just fly above the clouds, and then all of a sudden, now this is the contemporary way it's thought of. But then you got to come out of La La Land, out of the clouds, and suddenly see that they don't brush their teeth enough, or that they're vegan and you're not, and you start seeing all these differences, and pink cloud's gone, and now you see them for who they really are, and that in love place, that place of being one with everything, kind of dissipates, and it's like, yeah, that's that person, and then we sometimes look again to find the next pink cloud. But here's what's going on. And I got this week, reading the Ram Dass quote. I was like, oh my God, I get this. Here's what's going on. The pink cloud period, that's the true authentic period. Because, I'm going to cry, because you have dropped all of your crap. They've dropped all of their crap, because they're not going to show it to you in the beginning. And you've met the perfect, true, authentic person that they are. And you fall in love. Because you're in your love and they're in their love and there's only one love and you're like, there it is. So what happens after that? Not reality sets in. What sets in is the fake world of who we think we are, and we lose who we know we are. When I work with couples to help them find a way back into a marriage or into a relationship, you know, Kevin and I have been together 33 years almost, and I can honestly say, I love him more today. Oh, what's that song? I love you more today than yesterday. But I do. I am more in love with Kevin today, if that's even possible, because our pink cloud was so powerful. And we dropped very, very often, we dropped into the relative world of like, oh my God, just get out of the house. Leave me some peace. Anybody? Right. Thor's applauding. So yeah, I get that. I totally get that. But you know what that is? That is not seeing the truth. That's that's latching onto something that's not that person's truth. It's just, unfortunately, the way they're living their truth in that moment. And if we were able to, just be able to, once, just say, I understand. And instead of saying, get out of my face, just say, you know what? Go do what you want to do, be who you want to be. I love you anyway. Boy, wouldn't that heal? And that would only come, the only way you can actually say that authentically is if you absolutely knew the truth. If you really dropped into who you are and really knew the truth. So I have a question for you today. What are you knowing these days? So if the pink cloud period is not a place of knowing, it's a place of being, where I'm in my pink cloud and everything is God and it's all beautiful and it's amazing. I do that every morning at 9 o'clock with spirit breath. I drop into this thing, and when it's over, I giggle, I laugh, I cry. It's better than cats. I have this most amazing time for that 45 minutes. So if that's the truth, then what am I knowing beyond that? And I think it's important for you, Eric, I think it's important for us to ask ourselves, what am I knowing? What have I chosen to know? You know, I was talking with someone yesterday about our government. You know, what I choose to know about our government is that there are way more people interested in helping find solutions than there is anything else. I am willing to know that there is good. I don't have to know there is evil and bad. I get it. I'm not stupid. But where am I going to put my knowing? Where are you going to put your knowing? I would suggest we put it on solutions. I suggest we put it on truth and love and compassion for one another. Staying in that pink cloud. And that's not la la land. I don't want to hear, people can say, you just aren't willing to look at it. No, I am. But what am I going to know? What am I willing to know? Because where I put my knowingness, that's where my life is going to go. And I am going to live in that consciousness. You're a choice. We are all a choice to live exactly where we want to live. The title of my talk today is One More Thing. So one more thing. How many more things are you going to entertain in your life? Because I guarantee you, there's always going to be one more thing. Oh, and one more thing. Oh, and have you ever had a conversation with somebody who's just so angry about everything in life? And it's like, oh, and one more thing. This is also happening too. Oh, and one more thing. And this is happening too. It's like, oh my God, my head wants to explode. Talk about a pink cloud. I have just entered the dark dirt. So I choose to stay in that place of love only. That is a healing concept. Love only does not mean stupid always. Just so you know. Love only means I see it, but I'm going to come to it from love. I'm not going to let it create my reality or create the beliefs that I now take into my life. So, one more thing. So what are you willing to know? And what are you willing to stop knowing? Sometimes it really is, as Eric said, we got to really pinpoint it. What am I thinking? Am I willing to stop thinking this? Am I willing to stop? And forget the thinking, because as you all know, thinking's thinking and things come up. What are you willing to stop knowing? Because when you stop knowing, you're not going to think it. Because the knowing actually precedes even the belief. The knowing brings forth the belief, which causes the thinking, then allows the feelings and then the emotions. And by now, you're on Facebook screaming at everybody. And I'm talking about back it up to the knowing. Because if you're knowing, then I'm just going to see love whenever I see you. That's all I'm going to see, because that's all you're bringing forward. And you can call me Pollyanna. I don't care. I've been called many sissy girly names my whole life. So Pollyanna, and that was one of them. But I don't care. If it's Pollyanna, I want to live in that pink cloud, because that's the truth. That's not that fake place where you fall in love with someone and don't see their faults. What if people don't have faults? In truth, they just live faults because it's an easier way to live. Because we all have faults. There's something we've all bought into. Everybody's got faults. I don't. I have no faults. My husband's probably sitting on Bluebell right now going, But in truth, at the center of my being, I do not have faults. At the center of Margaret Owen's being, she does not have faults, Eric. And at the center of your being, Tiffany, well, maybe not Tiffany, but most people, no, Tiffany too, even Tiffany, at the center of Tiffany, you do not have faults. So Woody Allen says this: students achieving oneness will move on to two-ness. Now, I want you to think about that for a minute. Students achieving oneness will move on to two-ness. Now, he actually thought of it, I think he's being sarcastic and trying to be funny. But I read that and I went, yeah, if you get oneness, I can move on to two-ness, and it's going to be a glorious time. But if I don't get oneness, and I just think I am one of the many, and we're all individual, and I just show up thinking, well, what do you like? Who are you? You're going to get some really gnarly. Anybody ever have a gnarly relationship? How were your relationships before this one? How were your relationships before this one? Yes, right. How were your relationships before Austin? Yeah, mine were like horrific before Kevin. I just had a string of dead bodies all behind me. They were alive, wanting my body to be dead. But I get it, right? So are you willing not to just understand oneness, but to come from oneness? Ernest Holmes said this: the inherent nature of mankind is ever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom. You and me, We are innately screaming out to be set free from all of the stuff that bogs us down. So what I'm going to suggest for all of us is that we really start paying attention to the vision statement of this center, which is love only. And you can forgive everything too, and of course remember who you are, but if you can love only, if you can just come from love and not use love as a weapon. I'm doing this because I love you. No, I mean coming from love. Love only, compassionate love. If you have something to say, not a problem. Say it with love and from love. And I think if we do that, now we will have set ourselves free. So I would like us all this coming week to see just how many pink cloud moments we can find. How many relationships can we elevate from the world of form into the world of the pink cloud, where you are just feeling so expressive, so expansive, where you just look at these people, no matter what you may have thought of them before, but just see God, just see love, only love. I think if we do that, talks like this will no longer be necessary, even for myself, to get up here and talk about this. Because we are one people living on one planet. It is love only. And the next time someone's moving on, or your own mind is saying, oh, one more thing. Do you know what the one more thing needs to be? Love only. So every time you feel your body or your mind starting to roll out of control with your reaction to everything that's going on in the world, try the one more thing. And try that one more thing being love only. Because once you get to the one more thing, love only, there's no more one more things. There's just truth. Namaste.